Get well soon, though you're immune. You sing the same sad tune. Gray and gloom inside your room. Outside it's bright and blue. Get well soon. Get well soon. Get well soon and start anew from all that you've been through. Take good care and don't despair while life just passes you. How to cure, how to be sure and not obscure your true view. We have sympathy for you. Get well soon. What else more can we do? Let us pray. Get well soon. Find a way. Come what may. Get well. Bonjour, monsieur. Bonjour, monsieur, monsieur. You were so happy not so long ago. Get well soon. Get well soon. Get well soon. We have sympathy for you. Get well soon. What else more can we do? Let us get well soon.
I'm sick! Sick, I tell you! Sick of all these bills! Bills and bills for potions and pills and a Magnus Anus Protanus. What the hell is that? Ah, yes, a large protein enema. That was a dark day indeed. And for what? I think Dr. Pergon's taking advantage, prescribing medication that's wholly unnecessary, for surely what would one need with a large protein enema? Magnus Anus Protanus for the treatment of Stolidus longimanus, a rare disease which is characterized by the following symptoms: dizziness, nausea, headaches, menstrual cramps, leprosy. Mon Dieu, I have all those things! And he's only prescribed me one dose this month. Is he mad? I'll need at least 2 more. I'll send word to my apothecary, Mr. Fleur, to request a refill. He shouldn't complain. What with all the money I shovel at him, he makes a killing by keeping me alive. Though, for sure these statements must be padded. I highly doubt I owe this much. Look here, 3 additional types of enemas. Isn't anything ingested anymore? One to promote a healthy mover of the bowels, one to aid in the release of flatulence, and one is a lemon-scented room deodorizer. These all sound important! What is this item for 30 francs? An elixir to drive out bad humors. I do need that. I am ill-humored. 30 doses of purified whey to refresh the blood. 45 francs each. A small sum to pay for fresh blood. Mine's is beginning to stale. An astringent to aid in good sleep. You can't put a price on good sleep. No, wait, you can. 50 francs. And finally, 107 francs for Fastidia venenium. A mixture to help expel my bile. What? An excess in bile was explained to me to be the reason why I'm so angry and depressed. I'd sooner be happy and content than angry, depressed, Though, of course, it's not a matter of choice, is it? I wish it were. I remember this concoction. It was a vile bile remover, made up of the larvae of giant ants, mixed with fly-infested cheese milk, and blended together with duck eggs that have been incubated until the fetus is all feathery and beaky. Protein supplements go up the backside. This I had to eat. As hard to swallow as these invoices. Still, the good doctor's math seems accurate, and the medicine obviously necessary. One need only look at me to see what poor health I'm in. And as my dear old granny used to say, if you don't have your health... She died before she could finish that sentence. Alas, she didn't have the benefits of modern medical science and trustworthy practitioners such as Dr. Fergon and Monsieur Fleuron to aid in her time of need. Heaven rest her soul. No doubt, I'll soon join her and others who have left me. Toinette, let's have all this taken away. I need to be reminded of the cost of poor health. It's its own keepsake. Though, with any luck, I'll be paying discounted prices soon enough. Toinette! Where the devil is that useless servant wench? Anybody? It's no use. I'm always left alone. Toinette!
I'm coming, you needn't yell.
No, and yet it's the only way you'll hear me.
Maybe I'm hard of hearing. Have you ever thought of that?
Maybe you're hard of listening. I have thought of that. Maybe it's because of all the talking you do. Clearly you need to learn to speak less and use your ears more, because I'm tired of repeating myself. I'm tired of repeating myself. If I had any sense, I'd...
Ow!
What happened?
I hit my head.
You hit your head?
I tripped on the back of your chair.
And hit your head.
I did. I think I'm seeing double.
Don't come here then. I don't want to see double.
I don't think it's catchy.
Everything is catchy. Keep your distance. I can scold you well enough from here. Who's that?
Probably the new valet.
What happened to the old valet?
You fired him because you thought he had smallpox.
I remember now. He did have smallpox.
He had acne.
That's even worse.
You sure you'll like him. His immune system is quite strong.
Where'd you find him?
He's my brother.
Has he ever been a servant before?
No, but I will show him how it's done.
He's more likely to learn how it's not done. You have to train them when they're young. Babies. They're like sponges. That's why they clean so well.
I'm sure he'll be able to soak it up. Master, this is Guy.
Bonjour, Guy. I know Toinette told you the job is yours, but in fact, I make the decisions around here. I have a few questions for you, and your answers will determine whether or not you will stay in my employment.
I probably should tell you my brother is mute. He doesn't speak.
He doesn't speak? He's perfect. You're hired.
I knew you'd fancy him. He's a likable sort for whom it's impossible to say a bad word. Much like myself.
Let's hope he's not an impudent clown, much like yourself. You see, Guy, the key is to respect your master. It sounds simple enough, yet most servants can't seem to get that right. They fail to realize that everything they do is a reflection of the household they serve. So, the servant must do his or her best to present a professional demeanor. Beyond that, the job isn't too hard. It requires good listening, obviously, a trait your sister seems to struggle with. Let's hope for your sake, poor listening is an attribute unique to her, and not something shared by her entire family.
I suppose now would be a good time to tell you he's also deaf.
What?
You needn't yell.
How can he possibly be a valet? He can't even hear the doorbell ring.
Nobody ever rings the doorbell. They always knock.
Fine. How does one communicate with him?
Sign language, of course.
You know sign language?
I have a deaf brother. How else am I supposed to communicate with him?
Very well, but he better not be a problem.
I promise you, Master, he'll be no trouble at all. I will teach him everything he needs to know. Beyond that, he is nothing if not respectful and diligent.
Then perhaps he should be teaching you.
Worse.
I had to call you 3 times before you came here today. A servant is never supposed to keep a master waiting, and it's not the first time you've done that. Yet every time I wish to reprimand you, you seem to get yourself hurt.
Ow, my head!
Again?
Is that blood? Can you tell me I'm
Don't
bleeding?
get me with your blood, woman! Are you insane?
You make me so nervous when you yell at me, I can hardly stay on my feet. And look, I may have brain damage.
You had brain damage well before today.
Your yelling hurts my brain.
If you're hurt, see a doctor.
Right now?
No, not now. Obviously, you have to help me now. On your own time.
And on my own dime.
You don't expect me to pay for your foolishness.
I certainly can't afford it.
That's not my problem.
There ought to be a public option for healthcare, don't you think?
No.
A government option that competes with the big shots?
Absolutely not!
Poor servants like myself can see a doctor if we have brain damage.
If it's a pre-existing condition, they will not help you.
I think it's a good idea.
No one cares what you think. But for the record, you're wrong. If your little socialist fantasy were to actually come true, it would raise the national debt to trillions of dollars. And if you think I'm paying for that with my hard-earned money, you really are brain damaged. Next thing you know, immigrants will be in the waiting room, death panels, gay marriage, and Nazis! We are much better keeping things status quo. I can promise you that. Change is highly overrated.
I just thought I'd act in my own best interest for once.
If you ever wish to join the middle class, you'd stop doing that.
Very good.
Achoo! Now look what you've done. You've got me all excited. I have to take a pill.
I thought you'd take the pill first, then get excited.
Call my daughter Angelique here. I need to speak with her at once. And clean up this mess. I'll be back in a moment.
That man is a blustery, malcontent windbag.
I know!
Why did you tell him I was mute?
So you wouldn't call him a blustery, malcontent windbag to his face.
It's the truth, isn't it?
You have a tendency to speak the truth without any regard of the consequences. I'm merely protecting you from yourself.
And why did you tell him I was deaf?
Because I'm also protecting you from him. He won't yell at you as much if he thinks you can't hear him.
And now we have to speak sign language every time we're in public?
Yes.
Good thing our parents were deaf. I just hope your sign language skills are up to par.
Are you kidding me? My sign language skills are top notch.
Clearly.
You can put yourself in my room. I'll straighten up here.
How lucky for you.
It's not glamorous what I do, and I'm not even sure it's important. It's my lot in life, and now it's yours too. Not everyone gets to experience something important or meaningful. Some people have to clean.
I write music, Bonnet. That is important and meaningful. You know, one song can change the way people view the world.
Yes, but you haven't written that one song yet, have you? So until you do, grab a mop. If you're going to be here, you have to have a purpose. People will take note if you don't. I have a purpose. When important people make the mess, I tidy up. And no matter how many times I straighten these things, they always manage to make it dirty again. Their disarray is my job security, and they're pretty good at creating chaos. I wonder what else I'll get to clean today.
Toinette, have you seen my dear, sweet father?
No, I've seen the other one. Weird one,
I know at times he can be a bear, but underneath, he has a good heart.
Your father would argue against that, and I may be inclined to agree.
In spite of his gruff demeanor, I encourage you to treat him with love.
Love between the classes? I'm just a servant, dear girl. That would be highly inappropriate.
I don't think so. Love is never inappropriate. Love is the answer. Love is always the answer. What makes the world go round?
Love,
What is Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of?
love,
What do they call bread baked on ice?
loaf,
Yes, but what do they make it with?
love.
Precisely. There is nothing else but love.
Sadly, that's not true. There's also pain.
Pain? What is this pain you speak of?
Toinette!
He's calling now.
Did you find Angelique?
He wishes to speak with me?
He does.
Toinette!
My brain master, I found her. He says it's urgent.
It is indeed. Did he tell you what it's about?
No, but I have a feeling you know.
I do.
Does it have to do with love?
It does. It has to do with my love, Cleante. Did I tell you about Cleante?
No, I don't believe you have.
Oh, Cleante. What a dream.
I met him at the theater.
He went with his aunt, I went with Uncle Brault. His aunt and Brault knew each other and had introduced us. He was so polite. He shared his program with me, but I couldn't take my eyes off him because he was absolutely adorable. I love him. I know some might think me foolish for feeling the way I do, but I don't think I am.
And I don't think it's a coincidence that we sat together.
It's fate, kismet, karma. Call it what you will, but it's real.
Oh, Cleante. Yes, you have mentioned him.
I knew from the moment I met him that he was the one.
Please, dear girl, not love at first sight.
No, it's love in hindsight. Because in the moment that we met, I traveled through time and saw a future where my maidservant convinced me there was no such thing as love at first sight. So I turned my back on Cleant, only to realize I did indeed love him. But it was too late. I had grown up alone with no one to talk to but the very maidservant who had poisoned my idea of love in the first place.
So you're saying I still work here in the future?
I'm saying he is my destiny, and I'm pretty sure he feels the same.
Is that an engagement ring?
No, it's the ring you get right before an engagement ring.
A promise ring?
The one you get right before that.
Friendship ring?
Just before that.
Onion?
It's an acquaintance ring. It signifies that we've met and the meeting was positive. Don't you see? It's love.
But is it everlasting love? What if it's just a moment?
Uncle Braud says love is important, even if it only lasts a moment.
Your Uncle Braud and I disagree on this matter. And no doubt should your father hear of it would disagree as well. So I suggest you put that little token away before he sees it.
Don't be silly, Toinette. I didn't hide this from him. Besides, the reason the publisher to speak with me is to tell me Cleant has asked for my hand in marriage.
Your hand in marriage? He barely knows you.
He gave me an acquaintance ring. You think he gives that to someone he barely knows?
It is apparent to me you are the mess I must clean up today.
Excuse me, what?
You're setting yourself up for heartache. You met him a week ago. You think he'll ask for your hand in marriage so quickly?
I do think that.
Just because you think it doesn't make it true.
Doesn't it?
Angelique, you've been asked for marriage.
Oh, Daddy! How exciting!
Don't yell! It disrupts the removal of my bile.
Sorry, Father. I can't control myself.
I take it by your reaction this pleases you.
It pleases me to have the opportunity to show my obedience to you.
Such a treasure. It amazes me that from my disease-ridden loins there should spring forth 2 daughters of such perfection. The youngest, Angelique, a vision of grace and beauty, and her older sister, Louise-Anne, a bright girl and equally as lovely.
Hello, Father.
On the inside!
I heard you speaking of grace and beauty. I assumed you were speaking of me.
Speaking of your sister, actually.
Pretty runs in the family.
It does.
Did I hear correctly? Is Angelique to be married?
She is.
But Father, I am the eldest daughter. Isn't it tradition that I should be married first?
Louise-Anne, am I such an ogre as to stand in the way of true love because of some antiquated tradition?
No, Father. Of course not.
Now, congratulations are in order. Angelique landed herself a bright young man with a promising future, and not too bad looking, I might add.
You're right about that, Daddy.
You've seen him then?
I must admit, we were introduced at the theater just last week.
It pleases me to hear you say that. I know a father's taste isn't always the same as his daughter's.
What's not to like? He's tall,
Tall enough, I suppose.
muscular,
Underneath all the fat, sure.
chiseled features,
With round edges.
strong chin.
There's a chin?
He's gorgeous.
I didn't take that close a look at him. I'm just happy there's gonna be a doctor in the family.
He's a doctor? He told me he was a florist.
I think I know what's going on here.
No, he's a doctor. Or will be tomorrow, just like his uncle.
My uncle said his uncle was dead.
Something tells me they're talking about 2 different people.
Your uncle knows very well his uncle's not dead. It needs to be a doctor.
That's odd. I wonder why he would say that.
It's only a matter of time before they realize their folly.
Daddy, I am confused by the discrepancies occurring within our conversation, but I don't care because I'm happy and being discuss such details.
Excellent! And that concludes our little talk. Adieu.
Adieu.
Adieu? Wait! Why aren't you realizing your folly? Do I have to spell it out for you?
What are you babbling on about?
Master, what are the initials of Angelique's new fiancé?
TD.
Angelique, what are the initials of the man you met at the theater?
CS.
TD. CS. Do you know what that means?
It's a type of enema.
It spells love.
It's Latin for I'm pretty. What we've got here is failure to communicate.
What is she talking about?
I don't know, Father, and I don't care. All I know is I'm getting married to Cleant.
Cleant? Who's Cleant?
He's the man who asked for my hand.
No, the man who asked for your hand was young Thomas, nephew of Dr. Pergon and son of his brother-in-law, Monsieur Diaflabru.
You mean Cleont didn't ask for me in marriage?
I don't even know who Cleont is.
He's the man I met at the theater last week.
You think I'd let you marry a man you just met?
You're letting me marry young Thomas. I haven't met him at all.
Oh, I met him, and he's good enough for me. That's why I arranged this union.
Arrange the union?
You said it was true love.
I'm sure once young Thomas sees how lovely Angelique is, it will be true love.
You could have arranged it with me.
Yeah.
I'm lovely too.
You are lovely, but you do have a hump.
I know. I'm perfect.
I thought he asked her my hand. Now I find out he was prodded.
Hardly prodded. I merely asked his uncle to ask his father to ask him to ask me for your hand, and so he has.
Does he love me?
He doesn't know you. How can he love you?
How can he marry me if he doesn't love me?
He will grow to love you.
But Cleont loves me now.
If Cleont loved you now, he would have asked to marry you, but he didn't. Young Thomas did. So I've accepted on your behalf.
You already accepted?
Yes, because I know it would please you to have an opportunity to show your obedience to me.
That was back when I thought I was getting what I wanted.
Well, now you're getting what I want. I should think that would make you just as happy.
Miracles!
I don't think she's just as happy.
Nevertheless, a daughter must always obey her father in matters of love.
It seems you pick and choose which antiquated traditions you ignore to satisfy your own agenda.
Whose agenda should I satisfy? I'm a sick man, you know.
Yeah, and I'm pretty.
I don't think she's just as happy either.
It amazes me that from my disease-ridden loins there should spring forth two daughters of such defection.
Why don't we leave your disease-ridden loins out of this?
Be gone, you jade!
Jade, that's Shakespeare for whore, you know.
Out, baggage!
That means whore too.
Farewell, my concubine!
First, tell me why you've arranged this marriage between Angelique and a young Thomas.
She should count herself lucky. If it were up to their stepmother, Angelique and Louison would be sent to a convent to become nuns.
And I'm sure your wife has her reasons for that, but thankfully it's not up to her, it's up to them.
It's up to me! And as I'm sick and infirm, I wish to have in-laws who are doctors to see to my weakening condition.
You already have doctors waiting at you, hand and foot.
And they charge me an arm and a leg to do so. I wish to have them for free.
It won't be for free. It'll be at the price of your daughter's happiness.
If I am dead, will they not be unhappy anyway?
You are not dying. You are the picture of health.
Picture of bad health.
Please, if a picture says 1,000 words, a picture of you would say not sick 1,000 times.
That's 2,000 words, you incompetent hussy.
I am not a hussy. I never sell my body for a buck, and I certainly never sell my children's bodies to save a buck.
They are not your children.
I've helped raise them since they were children. They'll listen to me as much as you, if not more.
They won't listen to you. And I don't care what you think. I know what I know.
Just because you know doesn't make it true.
Yes, it does. Mark my words. My daughter will marry this man or I will force her into a convent.
Where she'll live happily ever after.
This isn't a massage parlor or a fairy tale. Not everyone gets a happy ending.
So you'll steal one from your children?
If I have to, and you won't stop me.
I won't have to. You will stop you. Fatherly love will stop you. Whether you'd like to admit it or not, I believe you're naturally kind-hearted.
Dim-witted drudge.
To them, obviously, not to me.
You're wrong.
If I am, then gird your disease-ridden loins, because I will fight you on this every step of the way.
You scrub of a servant. What way is this to speak to your master? Come here. I will teach you some manners.
I see the thought of beating me has added some color to your face. You look downright virile.
I'm weak and you know it.
Then I needn't worry about getting a beating.
Oh, you need to worry about getting a beating, all right.
Only a healthy man could give a good beating.
If I had any strength, I'd give you a good beating.
What a bind you're in.
Oh, I'll put you in a
If
bind.
you weren't sick.
I'm as sick as a dog.
Then you can beat me when you're well. Until then, bon chance.
Come back here.
Is everything all right?
Dear wife, thank heavens for you.
What could possibly make you so upset?
That impertinent servant Toinette. We must get rid of her at once.
If you'd like, we can fire her immediately.
Good, because otherwise I fear she'll be the death of me.
On the other hand, she is very skillful.
You don't really mean that.
I do. Perhaps your standards are just too high.
I don't think I have high standards. I just don't want someone who's insolent.
We can get someone like that, but the non-insolent servants are far more expensive.
Maybe it's worth it, because it can't be healthy for my heart the way she makes my blood boil and the veins pop out of my head.
Are you kidding? That's supposed to be very good for your heart. It strengthens it, just like bacon.
The bacon's been making me sick.
The bacon's been keeping you alive. Don't you dare stop eating. I would perish if something were to happen to you.
Oh, dear Bonbon, no one loves me the way you do.
I'm certain that's true.
You fill me with such calm, which is quite remarkable considering how turbulent that insipid, disrespectful. No, nothing makes me feel. She thwarts me in everything with her sassy back-talk and constant contradicting of every word I say.
If she puts you in such a passion, I will have a word with her.
You'll need more than one word to get through to that nincompoop. You'll need at least 5 to get her to come uncalled.
Twinette, here I am.
You see how she contradicts me?
Twinette, I'd like to have a word with you. Who's this?
This is my brother, Guy, the new valet.
Do we need a new valet? What's your purpose?
He doesn't hear you. He's deaf and mute.
Very well. He can stay so long as he doesn't interrupt. As for you, why have you put my husband in such a rage?
I, madame? I've done no such thing. My only aim is to please master and everything.
You lie!
I would never.
Did you not moments ago debate me on the matters of my daughter?
I was merely offering an alternative opinion.
You hear this? Servants with opinions! Alternate ones, no less.
You know, it is not your place to insert your point of view in any of your master's affairs.
Yes, madame. He simply wishes that he simply mentioned that he wishes Angelique to be married to the young Thomas de Fahu, and I said he would do better to put her in a convent.
It doesn't matter. You know, she does have a point.
That is not what she said. You should have heard her. She challenged my authority.
I did no such thing. I don't know why he... Sacre bleu!
What? Why do you say sacre bleu?
The doctors warned me this might happen.
What?
Visual and auditory hallucination.
Rubbish. I'm not having hallucinations.
It's when you see and hear things that did not happen.
I'm not seeing or hearing things that did not happen.
Often triggered by schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia?
You don't think you have it?
I don't know. I did use that public restroom 2 years ago. Can you catch it from a toilet? What are the other symptoms?
A person with schizophrenia is often very skeptical.
I can't believe I have schizophrenia.
Stubborn.
I refuse to believe I have schizophrenia.
Religious.
Dear God, anything with schizophrenia!
Repetitive.
Dear God, anything with schizophrenia!
And one more.
You're religious?
Yes.
Dear God, anything but schizophrenia!
My poor husband dying of schizophrenia!
I don't think it's fatal.
Oh, it's fatal. And what will I do without him once he leaves? The misery of it all!
Dear wife, would you know if anything would have happened to you? We provided for.
Oh, I don't want to speak about that. What do you need?
Over the 6 months we've been married, you've taken care of me so well, feeding me bacon and cheesecake, and scaring me at night to build up my reflexes. I want to make sure you'll be protected once I'm gone.
Oh, I don't want to hear another word of this. Continue.
As you know, I put you in my will.
Oh, I don't want to speak about your will. The very thought of it consumes me in a tsunami of grief. Go on.
This will give you ownership of all of my possessions once I've passed.
But I don't want you to pass ever. Does that include the stocks and annuities?
Everything once I'm gone.
And when will that be?
What?
I mean, I don't care. I don't want any of it. All I want is you. What's this in my pocket? Oh yes, I almost forgot. You received a message today from Monsieur de Bonfoy.
Monsieur de Bonfoy! He's my attorney. He drafted my will.
Is that who he is? I wouldn't know. I've never met him.
What does the message say?
He wishes to speak with you. I didn't get all the details because I don't like to intrude your business affairs. But it's something about there being a problem with your will, and you may have to adjust it as to give me all your money before you die. I wasn't really paying attention.
There's a problem with my will. I should see Monsieur de Bonfoy once. I'd hate for there to be any legal issues that might prevent me from taking care of you after I've passed.
I am in no hurry to see you. It is far too agonizing for me to participate in this type of conversation, as it supposes a future without my sweet dear. Oh, look, there's Monsieur de Bonfoy now.
I'll be. That is Monsieur de Bonfoy. How'd you know it was him? I thought you never met.
We have never met, but how many lawyers do you know?
That's true. I only know the one. How'd you know he was a lawyer?
He's obviously a lawyer. You can tell by his briefs.
Of course!
How did you know he was wearing briefs?
What?
Toinette, why don't you help your master find his jacket, seeing as now we have a guest?
A good point, dear. This robe is in need of a cleaning.
I'll see Monsieur de Bonfoy in.
Nonsense! What do we have servants for? Toinette, tell your brother Guy to see Monsieur de Bonfoy he's at the door.
Yes, of course.
What did you say?
He said yes.
Very good. Bon, I'll have Guy attend to you and our guests until I return. Is that all right?
You said he's deaf and mute, right?
Yes, madame.
Can you read lips?
No, he's also illiterate.
Of course it's all right. I have nothing to hide. Take your time, Toinette. Perhaps you should press the jacket before he puts it on. And steam clean it. It's important he looks his best.
Okay, my name is Monsieur de Bonfoy.
It's okay. He's not here.
Oh, wait, what about?
He's a deaf, illiterate mute. We can talk freely.
Very well then.
I love you!
I love you too. All I want is for us to be together.
Then forget this plan to take Argon's money and come with me.
I will. You're absolutely right. We don't need Argon's money. After all, you're an attorney. You make a good enough living.
More than enough.
Although, while you're at work, I'll be alone, missing you terribly.
I know, and I'll miss you as well.
All I want is for us to be together all day long. Hold you, kiss you, love you.
If I took Argon's money, I wouldn't have to work.
That's brilliant. And if we continue with the plan, we won't have to wait until Argon's gone.
Then let's continue with the plan because I can't wait much longer.
So, you'll convince Argon to hand over his money to me now instead of waiting till he's dead.
I will.
And you'll advise him to send his daughters to a nunnery.
Tell me again why that part's important.
With them in a nunnery, they won't marry. If they don't marry, they receive no dowry. That means more money for us, and the more money we have, the less time we need to work. And the more money, and the less time you work, the more money we have. And the more time we can hug and kiss and love.
Oh, how I adore your logic! Though I do worry a bit about sending girls to a convent against their wishes.
Nonsense. My father sent me to a convent against my wishes, and look at me, I turned out just fine.
Very well then. I'll do everything you ask. I don't foresee any problems.
It will require some deception on your part.
That could be a problem.
Why? You're a lawyer.
I know, so I'm not very good at lying, and I have my condition.
What condition?
It's nothing. You needn't worry.
Worry about what?
My condition.
What condition?
It's nothing serious. It's only triggered when my heart rate is elevated, which only happens when I'm lying. But I haven't had an episode in such a long time, I'm certain I've overcome it.
Are you sure?
I swear to you, I'm not nervous about this in the slightest.
Oh, you! What happened to Monsieur de Bonfoy?
I'm not sure.
I like to eat peaches.
What?
Sorry. How long was I out?
Not long.
Oh, sorry. You see, I'm narcoleptic and
Then perhaps you should stand over there.
it's not catchy.
Everything is catchy.
As you wish.
Your disease notwithstanding, my wife and I are glad you're here. I don't believe you've met Beline.
No, I haven't.
What a peculiar condition.
Narcolepsy, yes, very peculiar. Though I've heard that people who have it are usually less trustworthy.
Is that right?
Lipstick is funny. Sorry, where were we?
This is my wife Beline. Beline, this is Monsieur de Bonfoy.
Pleasure.
Charmed.
My wife informed me of the letter you sent her. About my will?
Yes, I'm afraid there's been a slight problem. Since drafting the document, I've discovered a little-known bylaw in our country's constitution, which forbids a husband to will anything to his wife in the event of his death.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
What a trustworthy man.
Monkeys? Sorry. There is, however, a legally acceptable alternative, which should give you peace of mind as it relates to your wife.
Do tell.
If custom forbids you to decree all of your possessions to her once you're gone, then you can simply hand them over to her now.
Hand her all my money now?
As a gift. There's no law saying you can't give a gift to your wife.
Perhaps not a law, but it is frowned upon, is it not?
No, in fact, it's encouraged, so wives won't feel inclined to either stupid, stingy, incontinent husbands for younger, better-looking, continent men.
But that would never happen here. I don't need any gifts from Argon. He himself is a gift. I love his gift. He can give me all of his money as a gift.
He can.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with this idea.
If you trust her enough to handle your affairs once you're gone, it stands to reason you trust her to be the same while you're alive.
My affairs will be much less complicated after I'm dead. They're so complex now with all the medical expenses. I don't want to burden her with them. And I'm sure she has enough affairs of her own.
What?
And I have my daughters to consider. If I wish to marry them off, their suitors will require a fair dowry. I don't wish to tax my wife with these types of financial calculations.
I wouldn't underestimate the woman's ability to be calculating.
I beg your pardon?
To calculate. We are a lot more capable than most men give us credit for. I suppose it's their condescension of us that strengthens our character. My father thought I was inadequate in every way, but look at me, I turned out just fine. Anyway, I don't want your money, all I need is you. Why don't you put your daughters in a convent? I don't want your money.
A convent is a wise idea. It'll reduce the complexity of your affairs and there'll be no need for financial calculations.
I can't do that. Not for Angelique anyway. The die is cast for her. She is to marry young Dr. Thomas tomorrow.
A doctor in the family. That ought to help with your medical expenses.
Yes, I'm hoping it might.
And your other daughter, Louisanne, is she to be married off as well?
No, Louisanne, unfortunately, will be a bit more difficult to find a match for.
Then perhaps a convent is a good choice for her.
Much like her sister, her heart is set on finding love.
Don't discount the love a girl can have for God. Sometimes it's the best choice for young women. In my early years, I devoted my life to Jesus. I wore a bracelet that said, "What would Jesus do?" and a watch that said, "What time would Jesus think it is?"
Monsieur Aragon, the solution seems clear. Tomorrow, your daughter Angelique will marry a doctor. thereby reducing your substantial medical bills. At the same time, you can place your other daughter, Lisanne, in a convent, where she can devote her life to God, leaving you comfortable in the knowledge that her quest for love is satisfied on a daily basis by the Lord. Once both your daughters are provided for, I suggest you give yourself the gift of peace by giving your wife control of your assets, thus freeing you of any stresses associated with them, as well as any worries you might have that Madame Deline will be taken care of upon your death, which God willing will be for some time.
I pray it's not, and perhaps freeing you of stress and financial burden might just be the way to get you back on your feet. I have no interest in your money, but if taking it will make you healthy and extend our time together, I will make that sacrifice because I love you so.
Monsieur de Bonfoy, do you really think this is the best decision for me and my family?
Do I? I do.
Then let us all adjourn to the study. If you wish to take over my finances, I must educate you on everything there is.
I'm certain we've done something. We have to figure out what it is.
Look, it's Twilight's brother, he.
The one who's deaf and mute?
Yes. Maybe he heard something.
He's deaf and mute.
You should ask him.
He's deaf and mute.
I know. Ask him.
Excuse me, Guy, is there any chance you heard anything suspicious between Beline, Monsieur de Bonfoy, and my father? You can whisper in my ear if you wish to be discreet. You don't say! You don't say! You don't say! He doesn't say! He's deaf and mute!
Then what's his purpose?
Ladies, is there a problem?
Your brother won't talk to us.
He's deaf and mute!
He was here with Daddy and Pauline and Monsieur de Bonfoy. I don't. Maybe he heard something.
Maybe he did. I'll ask.
Never mind. Just tell us what you know.
He says the gold digger
Pauline.
and the narcoleptic
Monsieur de Bonfoy!
are having an affair
Oh dear!
in the hopes of stealing all the money from the hypochondriac.
Daddy!
He also says the hypochondriac
Daddy!
plans on having the pretty daughter
Me!
married to the doctor tomorrow.
You! They're not a stick!
Lastly, the gold digger
Pauline!
talked him into having the other daughter, who is also pretty,
Me!
join a convent where she will become a nun.
Oh, for the love of Christ! This is awful! He's making me a nun! He's making me Mary Thomas!
He's making a fool of himself, letting that woman take all of his money.
Let Father dispose of his money as he sees fit, but don't let him put me into a convent!
And don't let him force me to marry someone I don't love.
I won't let him do any of it. We have to talk some reason into your father.
It won't be easy. As weak as he claims to be, he can be powerfully stubborn.
If only there was someone whose strong will rivaled even our father.
I wrestled a bear today.
Uncle
Girls, your beauty grows every day by leaps and bounds. How is that possible?
I don't think it is. I'm already so beautiful now.
You are. And Angelique, you look like a girl in love.
I am.
Yet I see some sadness behind your eyes.
There have been complications.
If it were easy, it wouldn't be worth it. The greater the obstacle,
The
the
more
more glory in overcoming it.
Assuming you can overcome it.
You're fighting for love. Who could possibly stop you?
Your brother and his wife,
Juanette, you're looking radiant.
back from another adventure, I see.
Life is an adventure. The life spent with you will be the greatest one of all.
That's a highly inappropriate thing to say to a servant.
I don't think of you as a servant.
Nevertheless, please allow me to take your jacket.
Thank you.
What happened to your shirt?
Sometimes clothes can get a bit tattered when you grab life by the balls.
It doesn't look like it was nice balls you were grabbing.
Forget about whose balls he was grabbing.
Your brother is forcing Angelique to marry Corbon's nephew tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I'm in anguish.
And if it means urging he's going to force Louis into a convent.
That makes me very nonplussed.
Something must be done.
I'll talk some sense into him.
And Cléante, you must talk to Cléante. I fear if he learns I'm to marry tomorrow, he'll think I don't love him.
And I fear that out of all of my potential suitors here, I'm to be put into a nunnery. They too will lose interest in me.
You must tell Guy to find Cléante and tell my love the truth.
He's deaf and mute. You can't tell him anything.
Right. Haven't talked to all of Louisanne's potential suitors as well.
Not to worry, I'll have Guy take care of it. Not to worry, ladies.
Thank you, Toinette. What would we do without you?
What would any of us do without you?
It seems you're determined to find out.
It was only a small bear. You should have seen it.
No thanks. I'd rather not watch you die.
I'll see to it you don't.
When are you going to speak to your brother?
Let me see. I'm keeping a list of things I'd like to do today. Whistle a bear, check. See my nieces, check. Spend the rest of my life coiled in ecstasy with Toinette. Talk to my brother.
It's not possible
Talk to my brother? I don't see why not.
to spend the rest of your life coiled in ecstasy with me.
It's true, heaven forbid some pleasures, but a compromise can usually be found. Perhaps let's start with the kiss.
Is that on your list too?
Your kiss is on my list.
Roald, please. Why don't you go to your brother's closet and pick out a new shirt?
Very well, my dear, I will. But please know, when I come out of the closet, it'll still be you I want to kiss. I'm off to get a new shirt. Isn't my friend?
May I help
Now, it depends on whether or not you believe in love. I, for one, do. I believe it has the power to overcome any obstacle, climb every mountain.
you? Plant.
It is I.
That was fast.
You must be Jeanette.
No.
Brett.
No.
Baguette.
No.
Chia Pet.
Toinette.
Toinette. Yes, Toinette. Your brother told me everything about you.
He told you everything about me?
He charaded me everything about you.
Did he charade you everything that's happening with Angelique?
He did. She is to be fried by the proctor named Hummus.
She is to be the bride of a doctor named Thomas.
Mon Dieu! That's even worse. I'm glad I came. I must find out if she loves this hummus, or if in fact it's me that's in her heart, as I hope it is.
I'm afraid her heart is not a consideration in this union. Her father already has his heart set on the doctor.
But love can't be disregarded. If literature has taught us anything, it's taught us love conquers all. Romeo and Juliet,
They both commit suicide.
Guinevere and King Arthur,
Guinevere cheats on King Arthur.
Oedipus and Jocasta.
Oedipus was Jocasta's son. Have you read these books?
I don't have to read a book to know what it says.
Yes, you do.
You sound like someone who's been hurt.
Because I think you have to read a book to know what it says.
Because you're afraid of love.
How do you know what you're feeling with Angelique is really love?
It feels like love.
You can't stay.
I certainly can't leave. I must know her heart.
You think you can simply march in here and talk to another man's fiancée as to how she feels about you? Her father won't allow it.
I have a plan.
You do.
I will call myself Tartuffe and pretend to be pious and speak with divine authority. Your master, who will not know I am the imposter, will invariably fall under my influence and allow me to speak with whomever I like.
I don't think that's going to work.
What if I pretended to be a miser with a big chest of money?
No.
A bourgeoisie gentleman?
No.
A learned lady?
I hate all these people.
Well, are you the misanthrope?
We'll just say you're a friend of her music teacher coming to teach her a lesson in his stead because he's obliged to go to the country. Brilliant. You can call me the Magnificent Lover. The Magnificent Lovers is also a Moliere play. I told the writers it was too obscure to be funny.
Perhaps if I say it again later on in the show, it might get a bigger laugh.
I don't think so. It's too intellectual. This audience likes more juvenile humor.
I don't remember eating corn.
See? Now go wait in the hall. I'll announce you.
Toinette.
Master, did you know there's a duck on your head?
Of course I know there's a duck on my head. What do I look like, an idiot? Dr. Paragon suggests I wear it to help ward off me.
What kind of quackery is that?
Quackery, is it? I suppose you think you're more learned than Dr. Paragon? Can you cure pickled blood, bone fever, or any other malady?
Don't you mean Mallardy? Mallard? It's a type of duck.
Oh, that is funny. I see why I should listen to you over Paragon. He's only a respected doctor. Your joke.
They say laughter is the best medicine.
It is not. Lemonade sits baths are. So you should keep your jokes to yourself and just do as you're told. When you get a degree, then you can open your mouth with your biting lip and even start charging for it.
I would never charge you.
Thank you.
I just put it on your bill.
I'm expecting Monsieur Dufois and his son. Have they arrived?
No, but another gentleman is here to see you. Monsieur, my master will see you now. Please speak softly, as he is very ill and loud noises agitate him greatly.
I'll do my best not to upset Monsieur Argon.
I was talking about the duck.
Monsieur, I've been sent by our daughter's music teacher. He was obliged to go to the country for a few days and has asked me to give Mademoiselle Angelique a music lesson in his place.
Excellent. I look forward to hearing it. Call Angelique.
Master, I think it might be best to bring the gentleman to her room.
I don't care what you think. Bring her here.
He cannot give her a good lesson if they're not left alone.
Well, you better hope he can, as he will be giving her the lesson not only in front of me, but in front of our guests as well. It'll be a perfect opportunity to show off Angelique's beautiful voice for her groom-to-be. You'll have no trouble teaching her in our presence, I trust.
No trouble at all.
But she was so upset earlier.
Nonsense! You think I don't know my own daughter? Nothing gives her joy like her music class. The way nothing gives you joy, like debating me on every single thing. Here she comes now. You shall see. And since I no longer need to find her, perhaps you can, without argument, check on the whereabouts of our guests. Now!
Yes, monsieur.
Angelique, your music teacher has gone out to the country for a few days, so he has sent this gentleman in his place.
It's you! I can't believe you're here. This is so amazing!
I told you, she loves her music class.
Now that my music class is about to begin, there is nothing that can make me unhappy. Nothing!
Master, Monsieur Dufois and his son Thomas have arrived.
There, Missile! Father, I'd rather do my studies in private.
And I'd rather you didn't. I'd want young Thomas to see just how magnificent you are. My daughter, you see, is to be married tomorrow.
She is to make someone a very lucky man.
They both are lucky, for he is a wonderful match. He's a doctor, and the nephew of my own physician, who I needn't tell you is quite extraordinary.
You needn't tell anyone that. He makes you wear a duck on your head. Who would believe it?
Please inform the music master. If he has returned to town, he's invited to the wedding. As are you, if you are inclined to attend.
There's nothing I'd like to see more than your daughter marry the man she loves.
Bonjour to you all! I don't feel like this.
Not at all. Avian flu?
No, not to worry. I'm merely wearing this as a precaution. Since it hurt, you might have it.
It's distinctly possible. I'm susceptible to most new types of influenza. Avian flu, swine flu, and the most fatal, butterfly.
Heaven forbid you get that killer.
Thank you. And thank you for coming. We would have, of course, have come to you, but my state of health forbids me from leaving my home.
It is our pleasure to come here. After all, we are to be family.
Yes, we are.
Not by procreation, of course.
No, of course not.
That would imply you and I had made it, and not our own babies.
We did not do that.
Since we're both men, giving birth to babies is highly unlikely.
Or completely.
Not necessarily. Male seahorses actually give birth to their own babies. They have brood pouches where the eggs are fertilized before being released into the world.
I hadn't thought of that.
I think of things all the time. It's because of my brain. I'm told it's quite big.
Really? Are they not all the same size?
No, mine's bigger. They have a way of measuring it now. Mine is exceptionally large. Even my brother-in-law's, in fact.
Then Dr. Pergon's?
Oh, yes. His brain is not so large as people think. It's girthy. But girth is not nearly as important as length. When it comes to brain cuties, I have great length.
Too bad you're not a doctor.
Yes, well, I would have been at first. But you see, I'm colorblind. But fear not. Adia Fawu will be a doctor one day. My son.
Yes, of course. We're all very pleased for you.
Thank you, monsieur. I also humbly thank you for taking me into your home and taking me as your son, no less. I understand that you don't have a son. I suppose I should feel lucky, for that if you did, no doubt he would be marrying Angelique. But you don't, and so you've chosen me. I hope you find you chosen wisely. I'll dedicate my life to proving your path. In fact, I'll only prove I'm the best man for your daughter. Thank you.
Well spoken, don't you think?
Very impressive.
Nah, just the girl.
Yes, Madam, Ozell, your beauty is like a shining star. I cannot stare straight into it for fear it may blind me. But unlike a star, you are not a big ball of gas. You smell like roses in the springtime that rise from the ground to greet the sun. You're not thorny though, like a rose. I'm glad that when I touch you, I do not have a little prick. Your skin is smooth, like the bottom of a newborn baby. But unlike the bottom of a newborn baby, I would never wrap you in a diaper, for you are completely capable of controlling your bowel movement and not discharging them upon the floor beneath you, which is good, because when I'm on the floor beneath you, I'm throwing myself at your feet and offering myself as your faithful and obedient husband, if you will have me.
And he is twice the doctor as he is a punk.
That's true. It would be most pleasant to be one of his
I'm
patients.
feeling a little sick now.
He has made me quite proud, given all of the obstacles he has had to overcome to become the doctor you see before you. Things were difficult for him because of who I am and the size of my brain. And his appearance obviously pales in comparison to mine, as does his charm. And let's face it, I cast a very large shadow. And as you know, when there's no light, it's hard to grow. But he has grown, that much is clear. It is an enormous success, which I can't take full responsibility, of course, obviously, because I don't want to seem arrogant. But mostly I'm responsible that he is the way he is today. Because of the words I've said to him. If you say enough words, they do listen. And eventually they think it for themselves. And then it becomes true. It takes time, but it's worth it. Slow-growing trees bear the best fruits. And though it's harder to engrave in marble than in sand, it lasts longer and is far more valuable.
That much is true. And tell me, young man, as a doctor, do you associate yourself with the opinions of the ancients, as your uncle does?
My uncle taught me the opinions of the ancients himself, as he didn't trust the university to do a thorough job.
It's probably worth noting that I would have taught him the opinions of the ancients. But unfortunately, I'm colorblind.
Of course.
In any case, I'm inclined to believe what my uncle taught me, and not be taken by the supposed new facts being taught by the so-called educated, the university that I went to in Paris.
I'm very glad to hear you say that. Your uncle is a very talented doctor.
As I could have been.
Had you not been colorblind. And I'm sure you will join in his footsteps.
He already has. You would do well, young lady, to see your future husband at work. Tell her about the dead woman.
What dead woman?
Angelique, if it pleases you, I will be dissecting a dead one tomorrow. You can join me if you wish.
What a wonderful invitation. So much better than an evening at the theater, don't you think?
I'm sure you'll find me quite gifted with the dead ladies.
I am certain your skills are as your father says. You needn't prove them to me.
No, but perhaps it's time you prove yours to him. Let's have a performance, shall we?
No, father, please, no.
Please, make my daughter sing before I guess.
Master, I don't think the substitute teacher will have anything prepared for public display.
It's all right. Actually, I have just a thing in mind to amuse our present company.
It needn't be much, just a verse, or a chorus, or a pre-chorus, something small.
It's an operetta.
That doesn't sound small.
Operetta?
It's a light opera.
An opera, with fewer calories.
Excellent! I'm in the mood for a low-calorie opera. Does it have a name, this operetta?
Yes, it's called The Man Who Loved a Woman, but the woman's father was determined to have her marry a nervous idiot, so the man had to pretend to be someone he's not, so he could determine if the woman loved him back, and if so, they could plot together as how to foil the father's plan.
My dear, how does that fit on the marquee?
This is the moment in the operetta where the man finally speaks to the woman in song in order to learn her heart. Well, 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 baby, I fell. Baby, please tell me I fell, baby, 'cause I'm not well. No, baby, I'm not well. I'm lovesick. Fever burns right to my heart. I'm lovesick. Please say you can feel my heat. I'm lovesick, and I know for sure that your love's my cure. whole town's racing, and there's no erasing how I keep feeling now. And only you know how such an escape was. Never again, no great walk. Run away from no Cherries to them. I'll still
Was it my performance? No, my dear, your performance was lovely, but the writing seemed completely unbelievable. That a daughter would be so disobedient to her father so as to plan to run away and marry someone else against his wishes? It's absolutely absurd!
I didn't care for the melody myself. It seemed very Cro-Magnon. I prefer music a little more catatonic.
Nevertheless, thank you, monsieur, for your time.
Very good. Mademoiselle Angelique, perhaps for your next lesson you should practice that other operetta your music master set aside for you.
Remind me which one that is.
The one entitled, I Shall Sneak Up to Your Room Shortly so we can continue our conversation and determine how best to proceed with our plans to run away with him.
I will practice it most diligently. I shall also practice. Please be discreet, as I don't want my father to have any idea what we are up to, because if he finds out, he will likely put me in a nunnery.
Wonderful. You might also want to take a look at Not to Worry, My Dear Sweet Love. Your father will never know, as I am quite stealthy.
I shall. I have loved you from the moment I met you, and even though my maidservant tried to talk me out of it, I'm overjoyed you feel the same. Is another operetta I like and hope to one day learn.
You may also want to study.
That's enough. She has plenty of homework. Just memorizing the title seems a dreadful task.
Au revoir then.
Father, if I may, I should like to walk him out.
No, you may not. We have guests, one of whom has asked you a question to which you owe an answer.
Sure, I hope I'm not interrupting.
Ah, mon petit Claire, you are just in time. Please, meet Monsieur Defoix and his son, Thomas.
Madame.
This man has asked for our daughter's hand in marriage, and though an informal agreement has already been made, we will now give witness as she formally responds in kind.
Daddy, please.
What please? Did you not hear him? He's at your feet, offering himself as your faithful and obedient husband.
And grateful that you haven't discharged your vows upon him while considering the kind offer.
Do you accept the proposal?
And do you poop on his dream?
All you have to do is say yes, as we've already discussed.
I don't understand why it needs to be said at this very moment.
Because the proposal wasn't made at this very moment.
Yes, but why was it made in such haste? Surely it would be prudent for us to take our time and get to know each other. Don't you agree?
It's enough for me to know that this is what my father wants.
Well, it's not enough for me. I can't fake the way I feel, and I can't marry for any reason other than love. I must follow my heart.
Do you love me? If so, then surely doing what I ask is following your heart.
How come you don't follow your heart as it relates to my wishes?
Because I don't make decisions based on my heart. That only leads to pain. Thomas is a logical match. He's from a well-respected family. He can take care of you and provide you with everything you could ever want or need from a husband.
I already told you. All I want from my husband is love. That's all I need. That's all I need, too. Oh, look, Monsieur de Bonfoy is here.
Excellent. Monsieur de Bonfoy, will you draw up a marriage contract between my daughter and young Thomas here?
I will.
Draw up what you like. I'll never sign it. Never. You can all kiss my sweet, round marriage maker.
Be it in a wedding dress or a nun's habit, one way or another you'll be hearing church bells ring. Monsieur Defoix, Thomas, I apologize for what has happened here today, but I will bring her to reason.
Of course he will. Children are always strong-willed. Always going on about their wants. The key is to break their spirit. Force them to do your bidding.
My father trampled over all my wants, and look at me, I turned out just fine.
The contract of marriage will it include the terms of your daughter's dowry as well.
Yes, it will. I've made Monsieur de Bonfoy aware of those terms, so you can trust him. Isn't that right, Monsieur de Bonfoy?
You can trust me.
100%.
Montel!
That's normal.
Perhaps my son should see them.
I'd rather your son see to me if he be so inclined. Today's has made my heart race.
I can attend to Monsieur de Montfort.
Ah, Pauline, you are as always the only elixir I need to keep me strong. Oh, I'm weak. I need some elixir to keep me strong.
Perhaps a quick diagnosis would be needed. My boy, Monsieur Argon does look flush.
If you say so, Father.
Why don't you look at his heart?
That would give me great comfort. What do you hear?
It's beating.
Is that bad?
It's probably not good.
I knew it! What do you think is causing it?
A beating heart?
Dr. Pergon thinks it's my liver. He suggests I eat raw meat with lots of salt and a side of tobacco.
That sounds right. Are you exercising?
I am! A little.
Perhaps you should cut that out.
Thank you so much for your help, Doctor. Do you think I should take anything?
Yes. Have you any estrogen?
I do, as a matter of fact, in enema form.
You should take some now. It'll put you at ease.
Very good.
Gentlemen, so sorry to interrupt again.
We were actually just done.
And I could use your help administering an enema.
Joy, I want nothing more than to do that, but first I have some upsetting news.
If it's upsetting news, I'd rather you tell me after I've taken my medicine.
Very well. Louis-san, you stay here. We'll be back.
Monsieur Diaflacru, Thomas,
I do, monsieur.
I look forward to seeing you both again next time as family.
Yes. Not by procreation. We're not seahorses after all.
Ah!
Are we leaving now, Father?
I want you to see. If I'm Argon's daughter and win her over, if she only marries for love, then show her why she should love you.
Why should she love you?
Why should she love you? My dear boy, you are confident,
True.
optimistic,
True.
and you have a way with words.
True, yes.
And unlike other men who they do what they're told, you are your own man.
If you say so.
I know so.
I don't feel like one.
Nonsense!
I don't feel like one.
Which makes me all the more proud that you do it.
I would never be disobedient. I'm just not sure I'm very good at the things you want me to do.
Whatever you decide, you have my full support.
I want to be an artist.
Absolutely not! You'd be a penniless loser. The medical profession is the most lucrative. You must be a doctor.
Sometimes I think I sound like an idiot.
Like other doctors, in time you learn to ignore those feelings and replace them with feelings of superiority and condescension.
So what Uncle does?
Your uncle thinks he's the center of the galaxy, and all his little planets orbiting around him. Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Neptune. I'm not a planet, I'm a star! And so are you. It's time we become so. And Dr. Perga becomes Uranus. He's a doctor, and tomorrow so will you. And you'll be married to Argon's daughter to boot. Let's see who lets down his nose now. Find the girl, make her love you, and count her.
Excuse me, are you Angelique's sister?
Isn't it obvious? We're practically identical.
Do you know where I might find her?
I do. Do you have to win her heart?
Yes.
Well, then it's not her you should find. It's me.
I've already found you.
Well, then you're in luck, because the key to woman's heart is through her sister.
I didn't know that.
I can tell you everything you want to know about Angelique.
That would be helpful.
We don't have much time now. There's an awful lot to learn.
Then I won't leave your side, so I've learned it all.
Excellent! Though I must warn you, too much time for me, and it might be my heart you long to win.
I'll take my chances.
It's my looks, you see. Often when I walk down the street, heads turn and children weep at my perfection.
How lucky for you not to know what it's like to be flawed.
It's not luck.
I, on the other hand, have numerous deficiencies. You needn't look any further than my stomach and starters. I've clearly inherited my father's predisposition to fatness. There's a large hole this mass where my belly should be.
I wouldn't dwell on it, though I have no such faults of my own. If I did, I'd sooner go around thinking I'm pretty than lamenting the poor genetic hand has been dealt.
You think that really works?
I think it might. Life is, after all, if I could make it.
Your father's coming.
Wait for me in my room. Then I'll tell you everything.
Thank you. I think you may have saved me.
Ah, Pauline, there's no end in sight to the limits of your love.
Oh, there was an end in sight.
Now, you said you had some upsetting news. Let's put all this seepage behind us. What is it exactly that's reared its ugly head?
I was walking past Angelique's room, and I heard a man in there.
Are you sure? You saw him?
I didn't see him. As I opened the door, he jumped out the window.
Then I should speak with Angelique at once!
She has locked herself in her room, but Louis-san is in with them both.
Then I'll speak with her then. I smell something rotten. Don't worry, I'll get to the bottom of this.
I'll leave you to it.
Louis-san, is there something you wish to tell me?
Nope.
Don't lie to me.
I'm not. There's nothing I want to tell you.
As the oldest sister, do you not share partial responsibility for your younger sister?
I do.
And if your younger sister has a strange man in her room, isn't the responsible thing to do to alert me?
Yes.
And yet there was a man in her room who you saw and you said nothing?
I didn't find him strange.
I think you're purposefully toying with me.
Father, I am simply trying to protect my sister. Isn't that the responsible thing to do?
You must protect her from herself. It's highly inappropriate what she did.
I don't think it is.
You wouldn't have a man in your room.
Sure I would. I have one now.
Don't mock me, I don't like it.
Is it that hard to believe there's a man in my room?
What's so hard to believe is your disrespectful tone. And now, though it pains me to do this, I think you'll have to be punished.
Punished? What will you have me do? Stand in a corner?
I am going to spank you.
Spank me! What am I, 7?
If you act like a child, I will treat you like one. Now I'm going to put you over my knee.
Ow! Oh, Father, why? Why?
What happened? I didn't touch you.
You did touch me! You touched my home! Don't you know what that does to me?
What have I done? What have I done? No!
I'm alive! It must have been your remorse that brought me back.
You deceived me thus? You know what you nearly did to me?
I'm sorry, Father. I just didn't want to be spanked.
Then you will tell me everything. No more games.
Very well, then. It was the man she met at the theater. He had heard Angelique was to be married to the doctor and couldn't stay away. He says he loves her.
And what does she say?
She says she loves him too. And then he knelt down before her and kissed her hands, and she said nothing will ever get in the way of her being with him.
And then?
My stepmother approached, and he flew out through the window. That's it.
You didn't have to make this so difficult.
You didn't have to make it so difficult either, Papa.
Are you angry that I arranged this marriage, or that I simply didn't arrange it with you?
I propose that if you let a boy spend a little time with me, you wouldn't have to arrange it at all.
You're fooling yourself.
I'm trying to! Why won't you let me?
Why is Louis Son so upset?
I'm upset as well. Why don't you ask about me? You know I almost had to spank her.
Spank her? Are you mad?
You're darn right I'm mad. These damn kids. They say they love their father, but all they really love are themselves. Where on earth do they get it from?
I wonder.
Don't sass me, Toinette. Not now. Today's events have made me sicker than usual.
Sick in the head maybe, but it has nothing to do with today.
Enough.
This is all about the past and things you can't get over.
I said enough! You crossed the line. I am not your friend. I am your master. You will not speak to me that way. It's inappropriate. You're inappropriate. With me. With my brother. Don't think I don't know.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
No? You think I'm blind? I see the way you two are. You wish to deny it? It ends now. You hear me? Angelique will marry the young doctor and Louis Son will join a convent. And you peon, will mind your station. You will say nothing against my plans or I will put you on the street and your brother as well. Are we clear?
Crystal,
What a great day to be alive.
where have you been?
Changing my shirt.
It took you that long to go to your brother's closet and change your shirt?
My brother has nothing in his closet but robes and gowns. They're not fit to die in, so I went home and put on something nice. I want to look my best for our first kiss.
Your brother has lost his mind. When are you going to talk to him?
It's on my list of things to do.
You'd better move it to the top.
Our first kiss is at the top.
It's not going to happen, Brawl. Why must you insist?
Why won't it happen?
Because it won't last, and you know it.
There's something inexpressibly charming in falling in love. And surely the whole pleasure lies in the fact that it doesn't last. Nothing lasts. Flowers don't last. I see that hasn't stopped you from buying them.
I didn't buy them.
Sleigh rides don't last. I hate to think you deny yourself that pleasure simply because it's fleeting.
Glances should be fleeting, not love. Today you're here, I see now. You gave your heart to me now. Today the way you speak is oh so sweet. But what will happen tomorrow?
think for one moment that I don't appreciate your concerns, because I do. The truth is, I don't know what tomorrow brings. It might bring pain. Today brought love. Today was a good day.
But if tomorrow brings pain, will today still be good? Won't you regret?
I wouldn't. No. I could never regret the day I fell in love.
How can you call it love when it's over so quickly?
I don't know. I only know how I feel. I know this. Before it's all over, I'm going to kiss her.
I need to know you're yours. It is a fire that's burning today and then the next day and beyond. Will you still love me tomorrow?
Hope you don't mind if I play. No one's around but the old man, and he's asleep. He's dreaming about something, which is fine because it gives me a chance to finish my song. But I can't seem to get the lyrics. I just don't know what to write about which will change people's worldview. I got this book. How to change people's worldview. It says, if you want to write good lyrics for your song, you gotta interact with the people? So... First name? Arlette. Arlette McHale. Where are you from?
The Bronx.
The Bronx. How old are you, Arlette?
23.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a teacher.
Nope, I got nothing. This book doesn't know what it's talking about. There's nothing about Arlette from the Bronx, a teacher, that's gonna change the people's worldview. No offense. I'll think of something. Maybe Argon had the right idea. A good nap. They say the answer to life's mysteries can be found within our dreams. Isn't that right, Luna? Sweet dreams.
There was a man, he was aware that what he had would never last. It was too beautiful. He had a love, she was his life, and every day that came to pass, she would sing to him, life is our dance, our hearts are the song, dreams will follow when you dance along.
Sun humps up and brightens up the sky. Sky's clear when you are near. Sunbeam, moonbeam, rise and breathe.
Now to the man she gave such gifts, and though the world was in his hands, he was blind to see that life is a dance, our hearts are the song, dreams will follow when you dance along.
When you dance, sun comes up and brightens up the sky. Sky's clear when you are near. Sunbeam, moonbeam, rise and
The happy days went by. The happy days went by. The happy days went by, by, by. Why? Life is our dance, our hearts are the song. Dreams will follow when you dance along.
Argon, my dear brother, you're looking well.
Are you mad? I'm at death's door.
What horrible news! That will be the death of you.
I know. I can go at any moment.
Then let there be no moments wasted. Mountains to climb, oceans to swim, women to love.
You don't think I would do those things in my condition?
I can think of no better time.
You do it then. Have fun.
I have done it. I climbed the tallest peaks, swum with dolphins, skinny dipped at midnight.
With dolphins?
Sure, why not? I'm not afraid to live.
You think I am?
I Have you ever jumped out of a plane?
Of course not.
Have you ever run with the bulls?
Don't be absurd.
Have you ever grown a mustache and pretended to be a gay porn star?
These are dreams.
Then live your dreams, brother.
I'm too busy trying to stay alive. I've no time to experience life. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm expecting my apothecary to come and administer important medication.
You have time to take your drugs, I see.
Yes, of course. They keep me from dying.
No, they don't. We're all dying. Nothing can stop that. Not even those charlatans you call doctors.
Charlatans, eh? I suppose you think these eye drops that were prescribed to cure bow legs and pigeon toes aren't real?
As a matter of fact,
And what about this foot powder, whose application results in bad mojo to be drawn off through the feet? Is that fake too?
yep.
And what about my hydraulic cellulite remover?
It's all crap.
You're so naive.
You throw your money away on this rubbish thinking it will make you better.
What will make me better than if not this?
Love.
You sound like my daughters.
You're right. The best thing for anyone is to find someone they love.
I had
She loves
someone
them back.
I had someone I loved, and she loved me back. But it was no use, because now she's gone.
Everyone dies.
But why her? She had such strength and spirit. She loved to dance for no reason at all.
She lived.
Until she died.
I only wish the same for you.
I had hoped finding another good woman might help make my ailments go away.
Perhaps you haven't found another good one.
Mind what you say about Boleen. I will not tolerate it.
How can you be so blind?
I have many infirmities, but blindness isn't one of them.
I'd argue it's the only one of them.
Master, Mr. Florent is here to see you.
Mr. Florent! Come in, come in. Is it time for my daily dose of purified back guano?
Actually, I have good news, Monsieur Argon.
I need to take the medicine today? It comes in the form of a needle. I'm pretty good at taking my medicine, but this needle's somewhat daunting.
No, you must also take the guano, along with this other shot!
Yves Saint Laurent! Look at the size of that!
It's a new serum Dr. Perry has developed just for you.
Can't it come in pill form?
Possibly. I didn't ask. I have to inject this into your spine.
That sounds painful.
It does, doesn't it?
You'll do it quickly, though.
No, I won't. The procedure lasts 47 minutes.
But it won't hurt for 47 minutes.
Of course not. It'll hurt for at least 3 hours.
Do you have anything for me to bite on to keep me from screaming?
Why don't I keep you from screaming? Turn over, please.
This is ridiculous. Get that thing away from him.
Excuse me?
Brother, please, don't interrupt.
You don't even know what that poison is he's putting in your body.
He doesn't need to know. It should be enough that Dr. Perkin finds it necessary.
It's not enough.
Yes, it is.
To bend over.
Look at how much pleasure he's getting at the prospect of causing you pain.
I love my work. Is that a crime?
It's sadistic what you do.
I'm in healthcare. A little sadism's useful. If you mascots don't like it, you'd stay well. Yet you do so much to get yourselves hurt. One could only assume that you enjoy it.
We better enjoy it. It costs enough.
If there is a public option, it might cost less.
You be quiet!
So the have-nots can have access to just as much sadism as the haves.
You and your socialist fantasies. When will you understand? The have-nots will never have what the haves have.
There's nothing more enjoyable than seeing a have-not thinking he's a have simply because he was manipulated against his best interest into denying something to someone who has less.
I know, isn't it great?
And now, Monsieur Argon, it's time for your injection.
Get that thing away from him, I said.
Brawl, don't get involved!
If you want to inject him with that, you're going to have to go through me first.
Brawl, that needle is long enough to go through you first.
You will move or you will be injected.
I'd like to see you try.
Dr. Perkin hears of this. Rooms of finding a physician to treat you will be like finding a needle in a haystack. And your hope of survival without a good doctor will be shot to hell. And that will be a bitter pill to swallow.
That wasn't so bad.
You maniac! Now look what you've done!
Saved you from being lanced by that madman.
Dr. Pergon has his pride. He will not stand for this.
I don't care. You don't need him.
I do need him, you fool. It's you I don't need. I'm a stop Mr. Flora before you leave!
I think that went pretty well.
You do?
Check.
This has gotten out of control.
Someone needed to say something. He's completely hypnotized by those con artists.
I know he is, but telling him that won't help.
I think it will.
Fergon will come, Argon will beg forgiveness, and then he'll be at their mercy more than ever before, only strengthening his resolve to have Angelique married to young Thomas and Louison sent to a convent. How will that help?
We've got to spend all this extra time together.
Please, this is hardly the moment.
Dear girl, I take the moments when I can get them. You and I are alone. What would you have me do?
Concentrate on the more immediate problem?
I am. You see, the day is almost over, and as you know, I made this list of things I'd like to accomplish before it ended.
I'm well aware of your list. And if sticking a large needle in Mr. Florence' ass is on it, you can check it off.
Before it's all over, I'm going to kiss you.
Yes, I know. We sang about this before, and I'm in no mood for a reprise. We must consider your nieces.
I'm sure you'll think of something.
You won't help?
Oh, I'll say something which, without meaning to, will trigger the perfect idea from you. Consequently, you'll respond, "Of course, Gerald, you're brilliant. You've just given me the perfect idea." And then we'll be on our way.
I highly doubt it's going to work out that way.
You have to trust in the process. You'll think of something.
Stop saying that. It's not my job to think. It's just my job to clean.
And look what a mess you have here.
I'm just a servant.
No, not to me or not. You realize that without you, my life, all of our lives, would be in disarray. You straighten things up. You fix it. You make things get better. You are the doctor, not Burgon.
Of course. Gerald, you're brilliant. You've just given me the perfect idea.
I think that merits a kiss.
Come with me. We must find my brother.
Why?
I found a purpose.
Zoot Mars! I just missed him! I hope this doesn't jeopardize my relationship with Dr. Pergon. Florent will go straight to Pergon's office and tell him the news. Then Pergon will wish to confront me in person! I must come up with an excuse, and I don't have much time.
The average walking speed for a man is 3.5 miles per hour, and Pergon's office is approximately 0.03 of a mile away. He should be arriving at my doorstep in
7 seconds! That's his fanfare now. He's early.
Take heed of what I say. Gonna make a house call. I'll make a house call. Here I come to make it right. When you cry out in the night, it's my skills on your lips. Address this, caress that, address this, yeah. And leave you breathless. Breathless, breathless, better believe, yeah. You must believe. Always here, never fear, here to relieve. Haven't sent for your lament, for all you grieve. Say I believe, say I believe. Set you free of all your misery. Use my skills on your lips. Address this, address that, address this, yeah.
Dr. Pergon, what an honor is it to have you in my home! I know it's been some time since you've made house calls.
Lift up your weak hands and feeble knees, Monsieur Argon. Don't let that which is lame be turned aside.
but rather let me heal it.
I had worried you'd be angry with me.
I am not a vengeful doctor. I am merciful, righteous, and just.
And I am your willing patient.
Humble. Humility suggests obedience. And yet did you not refuse to take a remedy which I had ordered?
It was a
A
misunderstanding.
special serum which I took the trouble of composing myself.
I had intended-
And its impact on your health would have been substantial.
My brother,
Your
you
days
see-
would have been 120 years.
Would have been?
What a fearful
Outrage against medicine.
I understand you're
when
upset.
the trust between patient and doctor has been compromised.
I do trust you.
But can I trust you? Can I trust that you will be a devoted patient, for whose allegiance to me, the diagnoses I make, and the prescriptions I order will be respected and unquestioned?
Understand it is
Who else
my
could be responsible for your health, if not you?
I wanted to take the medicine.
But you didn't, and that every action or inaction comes in equal and opposing reaction. I am sad to say your inaction was quite significant.
Meaning
The consequences are equally significant.
Meaning
Death!
because I didn't take one injection?
Absolutely. Your problem, as I have said time and time again, is your liver. That injection's purpose is to keep your liver functioning properly.
Without the proper function of the liver, the colon starts to dilute. This causes the bladder to expand and the spleen to engorge. Everything in the body is connected. Cure one thing, you can cure them all. Ignore one thing, you set off a fatal chain reaction.
An engorged spleen is fatal?
Once the spleen engorges, it causes the hands to enlarge.
Big hands make the wrists weak, which in turn causes the rib cage to contract until it squeezes your heart.
And you die!
Is that quick?
No, not quick. Slow and painful, but irreversible. You have killed yourself.
I tried to save you, but you spat in my face. So now, though I have the antidote,
I thought you said there was none.
Irreversible save for the one antidote that I have, but don't intend to give because our trust has been broken.
so now vengeance will be mine. Au revoir, Monsieur Argon.
You said you were an eventful
I
doctor.
said au revoir.
He wants you to beg.
And I'll beg.
Don't. I've already called for another doctor.
You did what?
I think it's time he had a second opinion.
There is no second authority on this matter. When God told Abraham he had to cut off his foreskin, did Abraham reply, I want a second opinion?
Perhaps he should have.
He didn't. He accepted the word of the Almighty as fact and shredded his own foreskin with a sharp rock.
I'm not comfortable with this analogy.
I suppose in that case it was clear Abraham was speaking with the highest authority. That's not the situation here.
There's no doctor more authoritative than me in all of France.
Which is why I've sent a letter on my brother's behalf to a doctor outside of France.
You did what?
Argon, may it please you to know that your symptoms have intrigued the renowned Dr. Clanahan of Scotland.
Dr. Clanahan? I've never heard of him.
Really? He is the foremost expert on conditions of Argon's specific nature. I would be amazed if his name did not sound familiar.
What's his first name?
Rumik.
Rumik Clanahan. That name does sound familiar.
On a whim, I sent him a description of your condition. I didn't think he'd write back, and if he did, I thought it only to tell me that you are clearly touched in the head and perfectly healthy.
I am not healthy.
Clearly not, as Dr. Clanahan has sent me word that he is traveling to see you.
Traveling from Scotland?
Yes.
Now?
Yes.
If the average walking speed for a man is 3.5 miles per hour, in Scotland is 657 miles from France.
That's Rumik Clanahan's fanfare now.
He's early. He's up. What?
Dr. Clanahan, thank you for making the long journey.
When I read your letter describing your brother's symptoms, I knew I had to come. I've traveled the world seeking out patients with seemingly incurable conditions.
This man's condition is severe, but not incurable. I have been treating him for some time now.
You've been treating him but not curing him. If you were curing him, it wouldn't take some time.
There are no immediate remedies.
There are, they're just less lucrative and so less preferred.
If you are suggesting I have not cured him merely to line my pockets...
It's either that or you're incompetent. You choose.
You insignificant little bug! You'll rue the day
No! You'll rue the day you messed with Rue McClanahan!
Gentlemen, please, there's plenty
These are my minions. Who gave you permission to use my minions to make your entrance and sing your fanfare?
They were your minions. Now they follow me.
I don't like the accusations being thrust my way. Certainly not by a man whose own credentials yet to be proven to my satisfaction.
You'd like proof, would you?
Yes, I would. You walk in here like some kind of god. Let's see you perform a miracle, if you can.
I can do all sorts of things. Make a blind man see, make a deaf man hear.
Impossible.
We have a deaf man here. Deaf and mute, to be exact.
Then let this doctor cure him and make him normal.
The only thing that needs to be cured is your tendency for political incorrectness. Deafness is not a disease that needs to be cured, and normal is not a goal, but rather a state of mind. Any deaf person will tell you that.
Clearly not this one, as he is also mute. So quit stalling and prove your mettle.
I will, and when I do, you will defer to me, Dr. Pergam.
If you do.
You must speak to him in sign language. Do you know sign language, doctor?
Does this answer your question?
Do you know sign language?
No.
You won't need to in a moment, not for this patient anyway.
He's trying to communicate! What did he say?
He's excited to have the opportunity to hear and be heard.
Then by all means, work your magic.
Hardly magic. There are channels along which the energy of the psychophysical system flows. When channels of the psychophysical and emotional disharmony are disrupted, it's often caused by blockages or disruptions of that energy flow. To correct such malfunction, specific points are stimulated. All I have to do to enable his speech and hearing is touch him right here.
I can speak. I can hear.
Oh my gosh.
And I can sing. Life is like a bowl of teachers. Still you're feeling blue. 'Cause there you are, stuck in the rocks and don't know what to do. But happiness, it can be easy as 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. Just remember to smile and laugh all the while. Oh, sweet child. Then life's a buzz, I know this because that's what Arlette does.
My own eyes. Remarkable. Dr. Clanahan, I am your willing patient. I beg you, please cure me.
Have you any objections, Dr. Pergam?
No.
Then I will help you, Mr. Argon. As I recall from your brother's letter, he describes your symptoms are as thus. palpitations, mucus, shortness of breath, elongated breath, medium length breath, dry mouth, wet mouth, big mouth, hiccups, hic downs, sudden weight gain after meals, sudden weight loss after bowel movements, a pain in the eye while drinking tea, hyperbole, dyslexia, the ability to read Hebrew, and the sensation that you have to pee followed by 30 seconds of peeing. Is that accurate?
It is.
Then it is clear to me what the problem is.
It's his liver, isn't it?
It's his brain.
Yes, I agree. It's obviously his brain.
You just said it was his liver.
I said it's all connected. So if I say the liver, I obviously mean the brain. Everything is connected to the brain.
He's right.
There, you see?
Everything is connected to the brain. And seeing as everything seems to be the problem with you, monsieur, the solution is quite clear.
A protein enema.
We must cut out the brain!
We must cut out the brain.
We must cut out the brain! Cut out my brain! Is there not a pressure point you can touch?
Your condition is far too gone for that. This is the only way you'll survive.
It seems rather extreme. Pergon, do you agree with Dr. Clanahan's recommendation?
I agree 100%. It's plainly obvious this is what must be done. In fact, had you not been so dismissive of me earlier, you would have seen this is the antidote to which I was referring.
This doesn't seem like an antidote. It seems like murder. Pergon, you can't be believing this.
I don't see why I shouldn't. Two of the most respected doctors in the world have diagnosed me.
And suggesting you remove your brain. This is not a reasonable recommendation. I'd sooner follow the medical advice of my baker, or my shoe cobbler, or even my servant than listen to these two frauds.
Only an idiot would take medical advice from a servant. If you wish to count yourself among the idiots in the world, by all means. But I certainly wouldn't recommend this poor, sick man to follow your lead.
Argon, you're not sick, I promise you.
If he is not sick, then as his doctors, we must be the idiots.
And does the opposite hold true as well? If you are the idiots, then this man must not be sick?
Sure, why not? Either way, it's irrelevant. We're brilliant.
I know I am. You are not so sure.
What? What's the meaning of this?
You said yourself only an idiot would take medical advice from a servant.
Who is this woman?
She's my servant.
Guess what that makes you?
How do you feel, brother?
We just proved your doctor a fool.
You've done nothing of the kind.
You were going to cut out my brain.
So?
I don't think that would have helped.
Who cares what you think or don't think? You're the patient. You're not being paid to think. That's my job.
I don't think I like the job you're doing.
You think I need you? I don't. This town's filled with people just like you. Simple-minded imbeciles who don't even know how to put on a Band-Aid. Believe me, you're easily replaced.
And it's time you found someone else.
Fine. You fools! Who's going to take care of you now? Who's going to take care of you now? I came to heal the pain you feel and bring relief. But all is lost, you'll pay the cost of disbelief. For the seeds you've sown have cursed your wicked bones. The end is near, affliction so severe. I'm laughing, you're crying, I'm living, you're dying. Brethren!
He needs to work on his bedside manner.
Are you alright, brother?
I don't know.
You don't know. That's progress.
Who am I if I'm not ill?
It's time you find out.
I've let it define me for so long.
You have people who love you. Let them define you.
My wife does love me. It's true.
Your wife is a greedy shrew who wants you dead.
Mind your manners, Berald.
It's painful to learn the truth.
I won't ask you again.
Beline is a blood-sucking parasite.
I have warned you not to speak of her that way.
It's so good to finally see some life in you.
I'll kill you if you say another word.
I'd gladly give my life to see you live yours, especially without that gold digger.
I warned you!
Enough! Beline does just want all your money, and I can prove it to you if you'll let me.
And if you're wrong, you both will treat her with the respect she deserves.
Fine, but you must do everything I say.
Fine, what do you require?
I need you to die.
I don't like this plan!
I need you to pretend you are dead. You're on the couch. Then I will call my madame, and you will find out the truth.
Very well, let's put an end to this now. And Berald, when you're proved wrong, you will apologize, or I will finish you.
And when you're proved wrong, Argon, you'll want to apologize, but it won't be necessary. I already forgive you.
And now I die, feeling more alive than ever.
We should all be so lucky.
Ah! Oh! Oh! Oh!
do.
Thanks a lot.
Check.
Are we doing this or what?
We're doing it. Ready?
Blood! Blood everywhere! Oh my god!
It's showtime.
No! No, it can't be! Madame, come quick! No!
Why are you yelling, girl?
It's my master, your husband. He's gone.
Gone?
What do you mean? 1 minute he was calling me a meat-headed dumb cop, and the next.
Is he really dead?
See for yourself. I'm so sorry. Oh, dear. Finally! What a happy day!
Madame?
Happy day.
You're happy that he's out of suffering.
I am happy that I am out of suffering. What an insufferable goon he was. He was a wretch, an unpleasant troll, and the world is a better place without him. You wish to shed tears over him? Don't. He's not worth them. You know what he is worth? A whole lot of money for me. Oh, darling, all of our scheming turned out to be entirely unnecessary. He really was sick.
Yes, and now you and I no longer need to hide our love.
Yes, now that he's dead, nothing needs to be hidden anymore. I hate you too.
Excusez-moi?
Almost as much as I hated him.
But you said you loved me terribly.
Yes, when it came to loving you, it was terrible. It's a little trick I learned from my father. Don't look so surprised, mon frere. Everyone lies to get what they want. It's the way of the world. Those who lie best get more than everyone else, and no one lies better than me. Argon! Merciful heavens, you're alive!
Enough.
I can explain.
You deceitful woman.
But I love you!
You make me sick.
Argon!
Out.
Oofum!
Now.
So that's it? I'm the bad guy? Just because I cheated on you, wished you were dead, and tried to steal your money, I'm the bad guy? I'm the product of the bad guy! Does anybody know that? I didn't cheat, I inherited these tainted values. What's your excuse? So you can cast me aside for being exactly what I was taught to be? It makes no difference. I'll be just fine. To hell with all of you!
It's never too late to have a happy childhood. And you, lawyer, you didn't really think she loved you, did you?
What? Of course not.
I was so blind! And now that she's gone, it's plain to see that no one loves me.
That is not true. You have two wonderful daughters who adore you.
If they were to come into this room right now to see me lying here, their reaction wouldn't be much different from hers.
I see them coming now. Why don't we find out?
You understand, Toinette. If their reaction is the same, there will be no more need for pretending.
I understand. Now off to sleep with you.
Oh my god, it's happening again!
Perhaps it wasn't meant to be. I could have sworn it was, though. Like Antony and Cleopatra, Tristan and Isolde, Jack in jail. Have we done this to ourselves? I hate to think that our conspiring in any way contributed to his untimely death.
Oh, he was sick. Although none of us believed him, he was clearly ill. If I caused you any grief, Father, I apologize. I know it was your intent that you were the convent, and it was hard to bring you peace. I told you so.
mother died, I chose sadness, anger, and sickness and thought my own children didn't love me.
We do, Daddy! More than anything. And if it proves it, I put her in a convent.
Oh, Mary Thomas, just please don't leave us.
Never. Nothing would bring me greater joy than to see you both happy. Louis, son, you need to join a convent. And you, Angelique, don't need to marry Thomas. I can see there's already a man worthy of you, and it is him.
You may call me the magnificent lover.
I beg your pardon?
Cleon, my name is Cleon.
Dear daughter, if you wish to marry Cleon, I give you both my blessing. It pleases me to see you happy.
I know, Daddy.
Though I must admit, it would have been nice to have a doctor in the family.
Louis, son, will you marry me?
What?
I know this is sudden, but you were right. Too much time spent with you from your heart along the way. Love has struck me like lightning.
Oh, Tom, struck me too. Yes, yes, I will marry you.
I will have a doctor in the family!
And I will provide quick family medicine.
On the toilet!
What about your father?
Yes, Thomas! What about me?
Father, I thought you left.
I did, but returned when I sister's disobedience. I also forgot my duck.
Don't be mad. I've never been anything but obedient. You wanted me to marry Argon's daughter? And so I will. Just not the one you thought.
I also want you to be a doctor.
Yes, and I want to be an artist. It turns out that the field of medicine lets me do both. I will be a plastic surgeon.
Oh, Thomas, what a good idea.
Yes, that's excellent. Perhaps you've noticed my daughter's hump.
I have. In fact, it's what I find most attractive about her. Perhaps I'll add humps to all my patients so that they may be half as beautiful.
Oh, my son, I've been such a fool. I've wasted all this time insisting what you do what I want. In fact, doing what you want is what I want.
It seems we both have been fools wasting time, but I won't frivol away another moment.
Lovers filled with love, fathers filled with gratitude, and everyone filled with greater understanding. I think we may have found a happy ending for all.
Just because you think it doesn't make it true.
Doesn't it?
Thank you for everything, my friend. A happy ending. That's cause for celebration!
Gerald is dead.
What?
Check everything off this list. No, it's done. Was
Yes. Very soon. For a long time.
so alive.
Yes, he was. So alive. Hey there, it's me. I feel you near. Feel you here. You taught me to see how it slips away. Live while we may. Life is not for sorrow. Ours is not tomorrow. Hold on to me today.
In this time and in this place, I'll let the sun shine in. La la la, don't matter where I've been or what tomorrow brings. Do the things I wanna do, it's time to dance along. La la la, it's time to sing the song, 'cause life ain't long. All we have is now. All we have is now. Hey there.